Columbia.
Oh my God! It is episode 84 of the Keep on Trucking podcast. Yeah. No. Cheers. Yeah, I'm here with Joshua Creedon.
In my childhood bedroom.
And then he learned how to walk in here.
Well, no. I mean,
Well, he was out of wheelchair till he was 17.
yeah.
And then he
learned how to walk late.
And then he learned how to walk in high school.
I was like, yeah, I don't know what it is. I just can't walk.
Your parents were like, he's a slow learner.
And then when I was 18, I was like, all right, here we go. Now, here we go.
You know, like some kids take like longer than others to learn how to talk.
Yeah.
You were having full conversations when you were like 1.
Exactly.
But you're like, yeah, I don't know. I just can't walk. I think it must be my third vertebrae from my spine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then eventually I was like, okay, here we go. And now I'm a genius walker. You know, that's always happened. Like Einstein didn't talk until he was like 4 or something.
It's always these analogies that people use to make like dumbasses feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
And I know this because I feel better about myself whenever I hear shit like that. They're like,
Yeah.
they're like, actually, Einstein was a fucking idiot, didn't graduate, this and that. And I'm like, yes!
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just like him.
Yeah, except they're also geniuses that are nothing like us. So it makes us...
He cheated on his wife, yeah?
Wait, who?
Einstein? That he would...
No, that's... You're thinking of...
Martin Luther King?
Well, he did that too. You're thinking of... Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking. He cheated. I don't know how.
Well,
I don't know what person rolled him away from his wife.
No, he had the motor.
Oh, yeah, yes, that's true. How does he sneak out?
Car service.
Hey, sound like a zip car.
She was like... You put some muffler in it?
Yeah. Wow.
Let me just make sure we're recording because this is gold.
Gold, Jerry.
What was I gonna say? Oh no, yeah, Einstein cheated too. He would like tell his.
These geniuses can't be tamed. They're like, I'm good at math. I can't be monogamous.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I guess
insane.
that's the thing. They just have like so much power in one of the parts of their brain that they just can't understand empathy. Probably.
Yeah, they're sociopaths.
Oh wait, no, or wasn't he sad when they did the atomic bomb thing? Who?
That was Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, Einstein though was
yeah.
in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
and he
then,
was like, "Don't do it."
Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it. It was a good movie.
I watched it, and halfway through, I mean, it's a biopic, and halfway through, I realized, oh, this is a biopic, and I don't care about him at all.
Oh,
I was like, I don't
Oppenheimer.
care. I'm just interested in the bomb, and I think, but it's really about Oppenheimer, and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't care about that guy, really. Like, showed his affairs, and it's like, is he a communist? And I'm like, I don't care. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, do a
what you want.
biopic about somebody more interesting.
Yeah, exactly, like me or Frankie.
Yeah, dude, you know how many tickets I would sell?
So many.
So, man, dude,
tickets.
if it was a bringer, it'll sell 15.
Yeah, exactly.
Soft, dude.
Dude, these barking shows. I barked for a show last night
Yeah.
here in San Diego.
Oh, really?
And
For
some show down at, I keep forgetting the name of the
American
bar.
Comedy Company?
No. I did the mic there though on Tuesday.
Yeah, dude, mics are amazing.
Dude, ripped. I mean, it was like I just did some like newer show stuff, and it's like 70 real people in an incredible club.
Yeah.
And it just ripped.
It's so fun,
But
dude.
also, like, it was a little unfair because, like, the more San Diego, like, local comics who are up all the time, they're, like,
Right.
trying, like, legitimate, brand new, never said before stuff at that mic.
That's good headlining training, though, I feel like. Or good, like, road work training, or club spot
maybe.
training.
Oh, sure.
You know, but anyway,
Yeah.
so you barked for this place?
Oh, yeah, I barked for it, and it was very different because there's just people walking all over. It's not like at, like, Comedy Shop where people are just walking in front of your storefront and you bark as they walk past.
Yeah.
It's like people are just walking, like, all around you. So you're, like, leaning behind you, and you're like, should I stand here? Should I go stand over there? Should I do whatever? And also the homeless people in San Diego are, like, no one's asking you for anything. It's kind of crazy. Like, there's a ton of homeless, but they don't ask for money ever. They're just constantly tweaking.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
it's like they're in the middle of their trip. I'm like, yo, this is wild.
Dude, the homeless people in California, or I guess Southern California at least, I think they're homeless because they had too much fun as young people.
Yeah.
And the homeless people in New York are homeless because they're just crazy.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, crazy in a different way.
Yeah.
It's definitely different. Like, down here,
I guess crazy is a broad.
down here, every homeless person scares me. Every single one. In New York, you see someone, you're just like, oh, they're just asking for money or they're whatever. But down here, it's like everyone is completely unhinged. Like, not here. They're not present. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
It's mentally crazy.
In Paris, where I'm from, there's like so few homeless people because it's such a small town. Like it's not worth it to be homeless there, which is a funny sentence.
Right. Yeah, they're like, what?
But there's something like that. We know who they are. Like we know them. There was a fat black lady, and she's a prostitute. And then there was a guy in rollerblades that smelled like shit. Oh wait, no, he wasn't homeless. I don't think.
Yeah, he's just in rollerblades. He's not.
But he always smelled bad, which gave off a very homeless vibe.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is why I try to not smell bad, because I don't want to give off a homeless vibe.
Yeah, it's a smart move.
And that's why I don't rollerblade.
Yeah, exactly. People be like, "Oh, look at that homeless guy." Although there's a big rollerblading community in New York, I think.
It's coming back.
Yeah, people are rollerblading through.
And chicks are killing the game of rollerblade. Have you seen them like do backflips and shit?
Yeah, dude, that's like roller skating. Rollerblading is when all of the
when they're
in
lying.
but
Yeah.
skating is like the 4.
Yeah.
and that's coming back big time.
Dude, I saw a video of a girl. She did like a trick and then rolled down backwards on a hill in San Francisco.
That's terrifying.
Because it's terrifying doing it skating because you get speed. This chick was doing it backwards.
That's so scary.
I was like, oh my god, dude. And then at the end, she was like, yay.
That might actually be because the brakes for roller skating are on
they're
the
in the
toe.
front. Oh,
So if you're going
yeah.
on backwards, you can like lift up your foot and slow down maybe easier.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going down a hill like that. Also, man,
That's
all
true.
the homeless people chasing you.
I got this scar right here, rollerblading.
Oh no.
You could barely see it.
Yeah, I can see it. It's huge.
Well, I mean, it's for life now. I remember exactly when I got it. My parents were having a yard sale. It's a very California thing. They're having, or it's a very not. I think yard sales are very West Coast thing, right?
It's just anywhere where you have yards, really. Just kind of anywhere.
It's a very not Manhattan
not New York thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm like talking as if all our listeners are from New York. Literally 80% of the listeners are from California.
So a yard is like a grass square that you have. It's yours. It's your grass square. It's crazy.
I spend the next 45 minutes explaining yards. So my parents were having a yard sale. And yeah, they were just bringing shit out of the garage. And I was like, holy shit, my rollerblades that they bought, and I wore them one time. And then next, it was like, oh, my ramp that I could never get to. Because they bought me a ramp, and then they just like, comes like such a huge pussy. I used it like twice. So they just threw it in the garage behind like a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
But the garage was open. And I was like, holy shit. So I put the ramp down. It was like a plastic ramp. Did you ever remember seeing those like at Toys R Us?
Yeah.
So it was just like black,
Like a 5-inch ramp.
Yeah. So I set it up, and the front of the ramp was like lifted, like the part where it's supposed to be flat for you to like ride up it.
Oh.
It was like, it was like a little lifter. So and I made note of it. I was like, I just avoided that part.
That's the front. How do you avoid that part?
Well, it was like one side. It was like one side that was lifted, and the other side was like flat.
Okay. So it's like trying to barrel roll you, like you go up and then one of the sides. Yeah, that's hilarious.
So I set it up. Mind you, there's customers.
You call them customers?
Well, there's yard sale.
When it's a yard sale, they're not neighbors; they're customers.
There's
potential clients.
There's like yard sale people just looking through my dad's shit, and I'm like setting up this evil Knievel stunt. And I'm saying, I set it down.
Guys, set up a bunch of books. How many books can I jump over?
Yeah.
If I buy over all 6 books, you have to buy them.
$4 each. Not even a reasonable price. I mean, not even a profitable. Anyways, so I put on my rollerblades, and they fit me tight because I haven't worn them in like a year.
Sure,
and
your feet are fat.
I was a growing boy.
Yeah.
I put it on, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then I rolled up to like 3 times, and I saw like a lady kind of like look over, and I see, and I was like, this lady probably thinks I'm scared. And I was like, there's no way.
Scared.
There's no way I'm scared. So then I remember like, and that was the last roll up. So I was like, I came back, and I was like, all right, I'm fucking gonna do it. And I'm like rolling up, and I see I'm like leaning towards the side where the ramp is like lifted up. But the last thing I thought was like, this lady's gonna see me roll up and not do it again. I'm like, fuck that. I gotta do it. I go, my left leg hits the thing. I go flying over. It's a hot summer day, dude. I just land on my side, and just skin my whole right arm. And then I just get up and take off the rollerblades. And then just walk through the sea of customers, which is like 4 people.
All 4 people. Yeah. They all clearly saw you do that.
And like nobody checked if I was okay. They all just saw me fly like 4 feet in the air, fall down, skin my arm, and then walk inside.
Wait, did you take the skates off or did you rollerblade back inside?
I took them. I put them up for sale. I was like, somebody take these. I don't want these.
They're not for me.
Yeah, and I still have the scar.
That's so funny that you're just like the only real reason you hurt yourself. Like if you were alone, you would have like pulled out and like tried again, you know?
Yeah.
You would have stopped. But because that woman sees you, like, I'm not scared.
Right.
It just makes you think how many crazy things happened because people are like, I'm not going to stop again, and just died just because of their pride.
Yeah.
They're just like, no way I'm going to not do this. You know what I mean?
Hitler. You know, there's books that say that he really didn't want to do everything that he did, but somebody gave him a side eye.
So someone was like, I don't know. That's kind of a lot of. That's not enough, in my opinion. We need to do more.
Yeah. I guess he just wanted Poland, and then somebody gave him a site, and he was like, and the rest of the world.
Yeah, exactly. World. I think this should be Poland War One. And it's like, I mean, World War Two. That's what I think. Dude, yeah, that's hilarious. But social pressure's a lot, dude.
Dude, it is.
Especially from people that you don't even know. Like that lady probably would have just seen you back off again and been like, oh yeah, probably, it's tough to do what he's trying to do.
Right.
And instead you were like, she's going to think I'm dumb.
Yeah, dude. And also she was probably just like looking in my direction and thinking about something else. Like, can I afford this teddy bear?
Yeah, 100%. Would my kid like that? Or
yeah, and I'm just like, this bitch.
Yeah, she's just just judging me. And then when you crash and fall, she goes, oh, he hurt himself. Anyways, does my kid want this? It just immediately goes back to what she's thinking about.
And now I have a lifelong scar.
I'm a fan of scars. I think scars are good.
Someone told me that yesterday. I have a scar right here. You know about this one. Barbed wire scar.
Oh, yeah. I think scars are good. I have a ton of scars, and I like all of them. I don't have any tattoos, but I like scars. I think scars are more fun.
Yeah,
because it's like a story that's like fun and like, you live through, it's part of your life. A tattoo is like, hey, this didn't actually happen to me, but I want to mark it on my body.
Right.
But like a scar is like, this happened to your body. And I like that.
Yeah, dude, I learned that early on. My mom would be like, oh, you're going to get that scar's going to be on you forever. And I remember thinking, like, that's cool. I'm going to talk about this for the rest of my life.
Sure. Yeah. No matter how dumb it is, you're just like, oh, that one's a dumb. Whereas like some tattoos are dumb. It's like, it's like, oh, why'd you get that? They're like, I was bored. And I'm like, oh, nice.
What scars do you got?
I was gonna think. Oh, I have a ton. I have like a ton on just my right hand. I have one. My smallest one on my right hand is from punching my washing machine because they had the thing. The washing machine had the thing in the middle because it spun this way.
Oh yeah.
And I reached in, and I just didn't see the thing, and I just punched it, and so now I have a scar because I punched a washing machine.
Oh.
I stabbed myself with I have a big scar on my left thumb, which you can't see. But maybe you can see it. It's like right there.
Which one? Oh, this one right. Oh, I see it.
Yeah, I stabbed myself with a razor because I was a janitor and I was using a razor to scrape tape off of like desks at schools. Oh. And so I was using that, and I put my hand on the opposite side to get like leverage, you know? And then I was like, wait, lower your hand so if you slip off, you won't stab yourself.
Exactly.
And then right as I did that, my coworker called my name and I twisted and then I just stabbed my hand. So I needed 4 stitches for that.
That probably says a lot too about like the brain. Like your brain was like, you might stab yourself, and then your coworker calls you, and then your brain was like, you stab yourself.
Yeah, dude, I thought just thinking about that again gives me chills. I mean, just going wham, just full right into my, oh man.
I ran into a comic yesterday, dude, and he doesn't have his index finger. And I never noticed this about him.
Why?
So I asked him, I was like, what happened? And he was like, don't ever try to pet a donkey in Mexico. And I was like, what? And he was like, a donkey bit my fucking finger off. And I laughed so hard.
I mean,
dude.
that is pretty funny.
It was
That's the most Mexican thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was.
There was a donkey wearing a sombrero. He bit my finger off.
Dude, I felt closer to him. I like loved him. I'm like, I see you all the time, but like now I want to be your friend. And he was like, just kidding. I UPS. I tried saving a cart. And I was like,
saving a cart?
I guess a cart was like sliding down a thing, and he put his hand between it so it didn't hit the truck. And I was like, dude, fuck you, dude.
That's jacked up.
I wish you would have just lied to me.
Jacked up.
I wish you would have just lied to me.
Yeah,
asshole.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah, dude. And then
what?
And I was like, what were you gonna say?
That's just very upsetting. It's so much funny. The first story is so much funnier.
It's so fun.
And it did seem kind of reasonable.
Yeah.
Like there are donkeys around.
Right, exactly.
And
especially in Mexico, they'll probably let you pet them.
Sure.
And not tell you that they bite.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, just give us a Corona and you can pet the donkey.
Just make them like the biting donkey, and then everyone comes through. You can pet him if you dare.
The biting donkey.
Yeah. And it's like more money, and then it's like a challenge. You're like, I pet the biting donkey. I have all my fingers, I mean, amazing.
And then they get like a bunch of chicks.
Yeah, exactly.
The girls love the guy. It's like, oh, the guy just fucked this shit. He pet 2 donkeys.
Yeah, he pet 2 donkeys, 2 of the biting donkeys.
And then he fucked me.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, his donkey fingers.
I asked him. I was like, so like, did you you got money, right? You got you got
workers' comp or whatever.
Yeah, and he was like, well, he's like, guess how much? And I was like, no. And he was like, all right.
Nice, good of you.
And he was like $4,000. And I was like, what? And I was like, this makes sense to you. You don't have a surprised face.
It doesn't seem like enough, but
well, my buddy's mom broke her. She didn't break her back, but like she like hurt her back carrying a box. She got like 50 grand.
Wow, that's awesome.
This guy lost a finger, and then I was like, well, what? We're like
the whole finger, like how far down?
Half the finger, like
front half, top half, the finger?
top half.
That'd be weird if you lost the bottom half. They just sew the top half on the bottom. Like, ew, you have a fingernail.
Yeah, but like, the fingernail doesn't grow; it just stays the same. It's the same fingernail for 50 years.
Exactly.
I was like, this man has a fingernail of a 20-year-old.
Yeah, disgusting.
So he I guess he asked the lawyers, and the lawyers told him like it's not worth it and then they told him how much each body part costs. They said if he would have lost up to the middle of the finger, that would have been $6,000. But like since he only lost like half of the top, it's only $4,000. If he would have lost the whole thing, it would have been like 8 or 10. And I was like, that's insane.
What if he lost a thumb?
Well, if he lost
a thumb, I mean, come on, that's $100,000.
a toe, a pinky toe, that's $100,000.
Pinky toe, big toe.
Pinky toe helps your balance, right?
Oh, yeah, I think the big toe's more.
Of your balance? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I think if you lose a thumb, I mean, you're essentially a monkey at that point. I mean,
monkeys don't have thumbs? No, monkeys have thumbs.
Oh, they do have thumbs.
Yeah, that's what separates
You're not
them.
even a monkey.
You're not even a monkey.
You're not even a monkey. You're just a four-fingered... What do you do?
You can't carry things.
Okay, I'm going to try and pick up my coffee with no thumb.
Oh, be careful now, folks.
I know,
There's new carpet in this room.
There's new carpet.
He's demonstrating this just for the Keep On Trucking podcast fans. Oh, and he nails it. Now, he's drinking a lot. It's very hot coffee.
I'm not drinking a lot. I'm just being careful.
Now, let's see the dismount. Can you put it down? That's impressive. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Creedon.
$100,000 for sure with no thumb. Thumbs cost $100,000.
But what happens if you lose your thumb? They take off your pinky and they put it where your thumb used to be.
No way.
No.
You're lying. I'm like, that's insane. That's the thinnest thumb of all time. That thumb is anorexia.
And the weakest thumb too.
Yeah. The weakest finger is your ring finger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, your pinky is actually pretty strong.
That's the one that gives in. That's why people get married and they put it on their weakest finger to give it powers.
That's kind of interesting. I don't know about that.
Maybe the first thing I said.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there we go.
I just demonstrated my attention deficit disorder.
This is one of the benefits of stopping talking earlier.
Dude, I was listening to the last podcast I never listened to any of the podcasts. I was listening to the last one I did with Carlos, last week's episode. And oh my God, dude, how does anybody ever understand anything I say?
Thank you. That's a great point.
Dude, not only do I slur, I speak 50 words a second.
Dude, you speak super fast and you mumble.
Yeah, dude. I'm a mumble comic. It's a new genre of comics.
That's like mumble rap.
Yeah.
Punch.
And then people still get it. It was unbelievable. So much so that it affected like my day. I heard it. I threw my phone out the window. Dude, I was driving. I threw my phone out the window. Like, dude, this fucking blows. And I was thinking slower. Like, I'm like
you like slowed your whole person down.
Yeah, dude.
That's very funny.
And it is. I mean, I slowed down the car. I mean, the truck. I was like driving slower too. People are like, speed up. I'm like, you're not gonna understand that I'm driving.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get it. I talk too fast.
Yeah. It's insane, dude. And then I was like, oh, I gotta go to class. Or I gotta do And I was like thinking about looking at maybe like speech class. And
you're insane.
And then
no, you don't need that.
Yeah, I was like, no, just fucking put a pencil in your mouth and fucking practice like saying like tongue twisters, and then take it off, and then you'll feel. Like, there has to be something. I want to go to the doctors. I want them to tell me, like, oh, your tongue's too big, or, oh, the reason you speak. I want to know why I speak so fast. Dude.
Yeah, and you want it to be something that's wrong with you so that you don't need to take responsibility.
Exactly.
You could just be like, oh, I was born with a motor mouth. It's not my fault. No, it's your fault. Yeah. Just slow down.
You know what it is, dude?
Pronounce all of your words and you will naturally slow down.
Here's what it is. Uh-huh. I'm going to go ahead and blame it on somebody else.
All right.
My mother.
Sure. Well, that's the safest person to blame anything on, is your mom in particular.
She talks so much shit. And I try getting a word in between the shit she talks. And I always,
out of necessity.
Yeah, but also I wasn't part of like a big family, so it's not like I was like, oh, I got to get in a word in or no one's gonna hear me. Mm-hmm. It was just me and my parents for 8 years, and I guess my 2 sisters. But it was never really like a bickering household.
Sure.
So the only thing I can think is my mom talking shit and then me going, oh yeah, and trying to have a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, that could definitely be it. I think a lot of it with the last pod is probably because you're at your house. You're just really comfortable in that like setting. You know what I mean? And so you probably were more relaxed and you sped up faster and whatever.
I think the opposite.
Oh, interesting.
I think because the cars were passing by, my dogs were barking. I felt like I'm ruining this. You know, like this podcast is gonna suck. The dogs are barking. There's cars. There was airplanes going on because we were in my backyard.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
So I think I was nervous. I speak quicker when I'm nervous.
Oh, interesting.
So if I ever murder anyone, police, you will know that I did it if I speak quickly.
Did you murder the guy? No, I didn't do it. I don't even know the guy. And they're like, all right, yeah, it's him.
Yeah, like I'm up.
Yeah, he did that.
Oh, and by talking shit, my mom, I don't mean like she's an asshole. I just mean like she's just really funny, and it's cool.
Yeah, no, your mom's a jerk. We get it.
And you're gonna meet her. You're gonna come to my house.
Yeah, I hope so. Next week.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get time off work.
Yeah, I did.
My boss is leaving, so I need to ask her for a lot of time off because she doesn't care. So she'll just give me all the time off I want, probably. Yeah.
PTO?
Yeah.
Paid time off.
Paid time off.
See, I'm employed.
Corporate guy over here. Yeah. When does that start?
Speaking of, January 22nd, I'll be working for, I'll be having an internship for VaynerMedia.
VaynerMedia.
A paid internship. But, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say you need to make a song choice for Gary Veter or not Gary Veter, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah, like when you go Joshua Creedon, you need to do, Gary Vaynerchuk something.
He's a what's a very triumphant song?
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah. Gary Vaynerchuk tonight.
What was that we were doing? Jews in the city.
Jews in the city. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was something. Oh, smooth. It was to the tune of Smooth Operator. Yeah. Jews in the city.
We're driving around singing that.
Yeah.
Jews in the
city, by the way. There's a lot of Jews there.
Yeah, so it inspired the song.
New York City.
Big shout out to the Jews in the city.
Yeah, shout out.
That inspired that song.
Mm-hmm.
I accidentally rigged a company Christmas party.
What do you mean by rigged?
They had games.
Okay.
And one of the games was you hop on one foot and the last one standing gets 2 tickets to Disneyland.
Whoa. What?
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
My girlfriend goes up to the lady in charge. She goes, "Yo, can my boyfriend play instead of me?" And they go, "Yeah, sure."
You just have one ripped leg. You're just like, he's a ringer. He's a ringer, folks. He crashes at this game.
I'm a prize hopper.
Yeah, I get it. Prize hopper? You get there, crack your neck. You're like, okay, let's go.
So I guess she was wearing like weird shoes and she couldn't jump in them. Uh-huh. So then they were like, yeah, he couldn't jump in. So then I'm walking in, right? And then I see, like who I'm up against. There's a bunch of office competition. It's a bunch of office ladies wearing heels.
Yeah, dummies.
I'm like in the bag. And then this dude comes who I know him and I know that he's a boxer. So in boxing, I know that you jump rope a lot.
Yeah, that's
true.
So
he didn't really hear what was happening. He was just coming in. He was like, "What's happening?" He's like, "Oh, we're playing a game." And I said, "Not you." And then he went, "Oh," and then he walked away. And then I hopped for 2 minutes and I won the tickets.
No, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
let's go. The boxer's like, "What did he just win?" Oh man, too bad I couldn't play.
Well, no,
you totally could.
Here's the thing: I walked back to the table because we were sitting together, and he goes, "What the fuck?" Because he found out what was happening. And he went, "What the fuck, dude?" And I was like, "I didn't think you were gonna listen to me." He's like, "Why'd you tell me to sit down?" And I was like, "I don't even work here."
Dude, that's so funny. So you got 2 free tickets to Disneyland? That's awesome. That's 2 minutes. Dude, that's so funny.
I felt bad. I bought him a beer. Well, sure, they were free.
Yeah, that'll make sense. Yeah. Did you buy him a $760 beer?
Well, not only did I not buy him a beer, they were free beers. It was open bar, so I just walked to get him. I was like, here you go.
Next drink's on me. Well, I mean, I'll get you your next drink.
Yeah. I'll walk for you.
Yeah, No. Don't get up.
And then I limped my way. I was sore for like 3 days after that.
Oh.
Hopping on one foot for like...
Oh, sore.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said sober. And I was like,
sore.
Wow. He hopped enough that you're like, I can't drink anymore.
She's the biggest alcoholic.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's another thing. I wasn't even drinking either. All the office ladies were fucked up.
Could you stand or did you have to hop?
We had to hop.
And you had to pick one foot. You couldn't switch.
Yeah.
Also, imagine how many boyfriends and husbands were there that could have done way better than their wives, and they were just like, I don't want to go to Disneyland.
Or also like, yeah. Wait, here's the thing that Adam loves Disneyland, and I don't care to buy tickets
Of course not.
But I do care for her to be happy. So I'm like,
Sure.
So I'm like, I gotta win this.
Yeah, of course.
I have, and there was another dude that's her nephew. He was like hopping around too, and I started like pushing him.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta
people,
body him out.
And then everybody got mad, and I got really like embarrassed.
Like, you're taking this too seriously.
And it's so they're like, no pushing, no pushing, and it's so funny to be embarrassed and be hopping on one foot. I was like, sorry.
Like, you're like, sorry. You stop for a second. Like, keep hopping. You're like, sorry.
Well,
Dude, that is how that should have worked though. Like, if it went on for way too long, they should have like shrinked the area so that eventually you're all just like this, just hop. You know,
I'd come immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
It was really,
come on.
really close.
And you're tired, and you're like, I'm done. I have to go sit down.
Yeah, dude. And then it was pretty much in the bag, dude.
When did that happen?
My first day in California.
Yo, did you go to Disneyland yet?
No. We're gonna I guess they're all like sold out for like Christmas times and stuff.
Oh.
So we're gonna go, I think, in April for her birthday, I think.
Oh. Okay.
So they're just like on reserve for whenever we want to go, which is pretty cool, I guess.
Sorry, is my phone ringing? Oh, it is. Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh,
all right.
I'm good. Oh, this is your father.
Yeah, it's all right. That'll be fine. It's so funny. Sometimes I look and I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. And then other times someone answers, I'm like, I have to take this, which is like hilarious because the difference is like not a big difference.
My girlfriend's like that. Like she calls me and then I'm like, like sometimes I'm like.
She also calls you like 16 times a day. Though.
And sometimes she knows I'm busy and she'll call me in and I go, oh my god, and I answer and I'm like, hold up, everybody. I'm like, hey, what's up? Nothing. Oh, move to China. Never speak to me again, dude. It's the worst, dude. Oh.
Yeah, that's very funny. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if it's my parents, I'll be like, well, actually, if my dad calling me when I'm in San Diego,
yeah,
whatever, just like right now. But if he calls me and I'm in New York, I'm like, mom's dead, and so I'm like, so I need to. But I'm like, yeah, what's going on? He's like, just driving home. I'm like, okay, don't do that. Like, don't like. And I like talking to him on the phone, so it is a weird like catch. 22 right. Where I'm just like, okay, you should text me and say, hey, I'm gonna have a friendly call with you in a second.
Oh wow, yeah.
Instead of being like just ominous, hasn't called me in 3 months.
And that's such a corporate way of you to like tell your dad, like, hey dad, just text me, circle back, I'm gonna touch base with you.
Yeah, exactly. Just give me a heads up as to the agenda. Yeah. And then like he texts me, he's like, your mom died, I'm gonna call you in a few seconds. I'm like, oh, all right, thank you, that's much better.
Dude, I'm gonna need your help a lot when I get this job at VaynerMedia.
Dude, I mean, we'll talk to the people at Vayner. They know better than me, but I can write a good email.
No, I mean, like, I don't know how to hyperlink a word.
Oh.
I haven't touched the laptop outside of like the editing thing, like it's like email stuff. I forgot how to spell.
Yeah, well, that's tough. I mean, what's the word you last got hung up on? Other than vasectomy.
No, it's funny you should ask that. No, it was, I did just got hung up on a word. Oh, and it was one of those words where the end was like a weird ending, like tough, like yeah, PH or whatever.
GH. Yeah.
I'm gonna edit this part out so VaynerMedia doesn't see it.
TUPH tough.
But PHIL, Phil.
PHIL?
Yeah.
Phil, yeah.
FIL, Phil.
FILL.
But
2 L's.
But GA.
I think you said I made a tough stuff and you spelled tough TUPH and stuff STOUGH. I made a tough stuff. Like, what? You're an idiot.
I spelled Frank with the GH in the beginning.
Exactly. Frankie. GHRANKEE. Frankie. That's so funny.
That's why I can't have a kid. That's how
yeah, exactly. You're like, yeah, exactly. Dude, what could you spell? Dude, I was talking to my friend the other day, and she was telling me like her list of like boy names that she likes.
Okay.
I mean, I wanted to end her life. It was the worst. It was like
oh no.
It was like Bob, Philip,
what?
Henry, Jim. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like every name was like the most boring, monosyllabic, just white name of all time. I was like, what is wrong with you?
Here's the thing, dude. I'm not gonna agree with you 100%. I agree with you. Those are boring names, but they are better than naming your kid fucking Mahogany.
Yeah, or like like lamppost or whatever.
Yeah.
Like whatever these new names are. I don't like those new names either.
What's the new names suck? What's the name that you were like that isn't boring and that isn't?
This is arguably boring, but it's changeable. I like the name Charlie.
Charlie.
Oh, I like Charles.
Charles.
Because you can make Charles Charlie. You can make it Chuck. You can make it whatever. Speak of.
Idam, it's my girlfriend. She knew I was doing the podcast.
Right now? Did she know that?
Yes. She called me on the way here. I said, I'm outside.
Go ahead.
Oh, she fucking hung up. No, I'm going to call her back. I'm calling her back, dude. She needs to be fucking held
Just to get
accountable.
mad at her?
Oh, my God, dude. Dude, I was outside and I told her, I'll call you back. I'm going to do the podcast. Hello?
Hi.
Hey.
Are you doing the podcast?
Yes, I'm in the middle of it.
Iram. Hola, Iram.
I'm so sorry.
Dude, not only was
Hi.
I doing the podcast, I was just saying how sometimes you call me and you go, nothing, even when you know I'm busy. so
Frankie,
defend your.
you took my fucking box.
What box?
And I'm trying not to be mad at you, but now you're fucking my box to charge my electronics.
I took it. See that one right there. Look at
You
it.
didn't give it back.
Oh, what?
Dude.
It's powering the podcast right now.
I don't have that type of box. I only have the new type of box.
She got that new box though.
Oh,
Wait, is Iram trans?
huh?
Is Iram trans? She's got a new box.
She does her box. All right. Well, I'm gonna call you back. Right? I guess
Iram, I'm always happy to hear from you.
that's Josh.
Hi, Josh.
I'll never complain when you call Frankie.
Oh, only Frankie will.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Thank you for calling.
Thank you for coming. We're on a roll. Josh was gonna tell us good names to name kids. But
Okay.
all right. Bye. I love you.
Bye. Love you.
Oh,
I think she's talking to me at the end.
just in case she calls again, dude. It's insane.
That's under the bed.
All right. See, now that was not nothing, but it was.
Yeah.
It could have waited,
Sure.
right? She knew I was in the podcast.
Yeah. That just shows real anger that she was actually upset at you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
She's like, I know what I'm doing.
Not only, I bet you she was hungry.
Also, she knows your podcast is not like some 80,000 listenership. She's like, oh, what? 2 people are gonna get slightly interrupted.
She's like, I can interrupt this.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a big deal.
Hey, man. Contrary to popular opinion, it's pretty big on Spotify.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It
great.
gets like 100 listens
No, you're joking.
on Spotify. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
I
and
always
separate-
watch on
That's
YouTube.
separate from YouTube. Yeah. YouTube
Yeah.
gets like an extra 100.
Yeah, that's great.
So thank you for watching and listening
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, listening. Spotify folks.
Yeah.
Do you put it on Apple Podcasts or whatever?
I submitted it and it was like, it's up. And then I can't find it. So
Oh,
it's weird.
ouch.
I guess just on Spotify.
Yeah. Well, either way.
Anyways, good boy names. So you like Charles?
I like Charles. That's kind of all I got, frankly. I
like names where it could turn into different names.
Yeah, exactly. You need a name that can be nicknamed.
Oh, pick your adventure name.
Yeah, kind of.
Like my name's Frank. Some people call me Frankie. My dad calls me Pancho and Francisco.
Well, Mexican's a different thing, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Mexican, any name could turn into 1,000 different names.
That's true.
I mean, just do whatever you want. Like, oh, your name's Frank, but you're fat. Okay, gordo.
Yeah.
Like that's like it. Dude, the funniest that my history teacher in high school was Mexican, and he said he had a friend growing up, another Mexican friend. And his nickname was Lechuga.
Lechuga.
Lettuce.
Yeah.
His nickname's Lettuce.
Oh my
and
God.
he like ran into him out years after seeing him, like as adults for the first
Yeah.
time, and he goes, Lechuga. Like, can you imagine how funny that is to be like lettuce? That's so funny, dude. But in Spanish, that's like a cool sounding like Lechuga.
Lechuga. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I wonder why. And you know why probably? It's because as a kid he probably really liked Lechuga, and his parents just called him Lechuga.
Exactly.
And then he just grew up and his name is Lechuga.
Yeah, I mean you can't do that. Like you can't just call a kid chocolate. You
Yeah.
can't, like that would be what I'd be called, chocolate. Especially a
Chocolate.
white kid. You can't be calling me chocolate.
No, you'd be called Güero if you grew up around
Güero?
Mexicans. Yeah, which means
How do
just
you
like a white guy.
How do you spell that?
Guera.
Guera. Oh,
Yeah, Güero. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of nicknames, there was this kid on my high school. It was first day of his freshman year. And it was like my first day of my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
He was sitting in front of me. We're taking Spanish class together. So, don't think that I was taking,
Remedial.
freshman other shit.
Yeah.
And so he was sitting in front of me. And you remember like when you were kids and you could kind of put your foot like on their like book
Oh,
rack
yeah.
under the chair?
That's all I did during class.
Yeah, so I had
Yeah.
mine there and then I was shaking my foot. I was shaking my leg.
Oh, that's not good.
And dude, it's not. I sort of got not even 5 minutes into fucking the first day of school for him of high school, and I'm shaking his like thing. Not only he goes earthquake, and he gets up.
Dude, this kid is jumpy. Oh my gosh.
Dude, and for the rest of like the time that I knew him for my next 2 years, I called him Earthquake.
That's funny. It's like the black comic Earthquake.
Yeah. To this day, I don't know his real name.
That's hilarious.
To me, he's Earthquake.
What's a Spanish for coward?
Cobarde.
Cobarde.
And those are fighting words.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
It's like calling someone a yellow belly. I ain't no yellow belly.
What's that?
Yellow belly?
Yeah,
it's
like
like an old Western way of calling someone yellow. Is a way of calling them scared.
Oh, what?
So you go yellow belly.
What
I don't know.
Why that is?
Yellow.
Maybe you get nervous. Your stomach starts turning yellow.
Yellow belly.
You throw up.
That could be part of it. Yeah, I don't know. But it was like a word for scared. And back then, you don't call a man yellow.
Whoa.
Which just sounds more, anti-Asian than anything these
does
days.
Sound, yeah.
Yeah. Don't you dare call me yellow.
That doesn't sound like a good ramen dish. Yeah, I have the yellow belly.
Oh, the yellow belly? Yeah, that's kind of true.
And then
it's just some scared white guy comes out.
And he punches you in the face. I know yellow belly.
Yeah.
Fuck. I have something to say.
about earthquake.
Earthquake. No, this whole time I have something to say. God damn it.
Names,
Yellow Belly. What was before Yellow Belly?
Driving down here?
Oh, no, the cobarde. Calling someone a coward. My cousin was telling me that he works at a warehouse, and he said that two guys got into like an argument, and then one guy called him a cobarde, and he was like, "What?" And he's like, "Let's take it outside." And they went and then they fist fought because he called him a coward.
Dude, that's insane. You know what you could call me without me fighting you? Literally anything.
Yeah.
Say any words at me ever, and I'll be like,
the only word that really gets you mad that somebody calls you is the N word. you get
no.
Yeah, you get really mad.
No.
If someone was like, "Excuse me, Josh,"
and they call me the N word.
Yeah, and you're going.
I'd be like, "Thank you." That's so nice. It depends on if they're black or not. If they're black, I'm like, "Yo, thank you." But if they're not, then I'm like, "All right." I don't care at all. Like in middle school, some kid one time called me a son of a bitch, and I was like, genuine, like not ironically, I was like, I don't know what my mom has to do with this. Like you calling me a son of a bitch, that has nothing to do with me. That's just mean to my mom, and she's not even here. So like, I don't see why that's offensive to me. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And so it's just like someone could say any words, and I would just be like, all right. It doesn't really bother me at all. So it's so funny to see someone be like, "What did you call me?" And just like lose it, I think
it's more of a pride thing. I think. Right?
Oh, for sure.
Like,
yeah, definitely, dude. I was a janitor back a different summer. Actually, it was the same summer I cut my thumb. But I was a janitor with like a bunch of people, and this one black lady. We were talking about words and offense and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she was like Shanika, and she was.
That's what you called her?
No, that was her name, Shanika.
Oh, that was a nickname you called her? Her name was like...
No, I can't say her nickname.
Her name was Ashley?
Yeah, no.
You're like, I think her name's Shanika.
Shanika. She's like, my name's Kelly. I'm like, nah, he's Shanika. No, but she was like, you could call me anything. You could call me anything. Like she literally was like, you could call me the N word and I wouldn't get upset. But if you call me the C word, I will lose my mind. And then the other woman janitor who was white was like, yeah, you do not call a woman the C word. And I was like, really? I was very interested. I was like, what? I was like, not even the N word? She was like, nah, that won't give it, but the C word. I'm like, wow. That's very interesting. It's like funny because then if you call someone the C word, they start acting like it. You know what I mean? So it's just like a weird, like it's like a magic trick. Right. It's like I just called you a cunt and now you are one. Like that's crazy. Yeah. Like just it's weird.
I learned that from a movie that people don't like being called that. I mean, I like that. That's a very like when you're like a kid and you hear like bad words and stuff.
Yeah, but
like,
they don't mean anything to you. Yeah,
they're all like words you learn like kind of early on. Mm-hmm. Cunt is one that you learn when you're like 16.
Yeah, that is a later term word.
Yeah, and then it does hold more of a wet cunt like weight.
Oh, yeah, I don't even picture. Well, that's the thing. I'm not like when I hear words, I don't picture anything really. So that's why you can kind of say anything, and I'm just like, oh, okay. My mom's the opposite. My mom's the opposite. You say any word and she immediately is like,
she like associates it with
Yeah, 100%.
She's like a visual learner, probably.
Well, yeah, probably, but she just visualizes it, so she just hates certain words because she's just like, oh, that's disgusting. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even think, like if you say poop, I don't think of poop.
Yeah.
I just think of the word poop. So it's like, doesn't make me feel, it doesn't feel gross.
Yeah, like if you're eating, you could speak about anything.
Sure. Yeah, 100%.
What do they start describing it?
Still probably it'd be fine.
Yeah, like once like people start describing it or they speak about it a little longer, then I get disgusted.
Yeah, if it's too long and you really linger, but for the most part, it doesn't really. And some women, it was very interesting to see that really affected them. And I'm just like, oh, it's interesting.
Poop.
I mean, most words don't. And that's also like with the F word, which I don't say ever, but with my mom, she takes that very literally. So how it's used, like as an adjective or like as a filler word or whatever, she just pictures sex, which makes no sense because it's like grammatically that doesn't even make sense.
Dude, my mom learned English in her like mid-20s, and then so my sisters, they were like, you like they said to me, you suck, and she was like, what? Because she probably has only heard that word with suck a dick or fucking suck a whatever. Like, it's sexual. She's like, what the fuck did you just say? Well, she didn't say what the fuck. But
yeah, sure.
¿Qué chingados dijiste? She said in Spanish. And we're like, sucks? Like, you can't say suck.
My mom's very anti that word.
Suck?
Yeah, she didn't like that word either.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, like, oh, that sucks. She'd be like, no, that's not. I mean, my mom is very, if she heard how we were talking in here right now, she would just.
Which is soundproof.
Although my brother is here in San Diego now for Christmas and stuff, and he's using a lot of language, and she's learning not to react as much. Okay. So I think she's becoming a little desensitized to it. But
yeah, I feel like I'm changing as I get older too. Like when I was younger, speaking about getting grossed out by certain things, I used to not get grossed out by like blood and like dead people.
Yeah.
And like now the older I am, the more I'm like, ugh.
That's kind of interesting. I'm kind of the same way. Yeah, for sure the same. Like I think. What about, have you ever been like anesthetized and gotten like stitches or whatever?
I've been anesthetized?
Yeah.
No, but they did pop this finger back, which is not quite stitches, but it was an event.
But did they put anesthesia in you for that?
No.
Okay. Because I've had like numbing shots for like getting stitches on my thumb or getting stitches on my shin.
I've had that for like molars.
Being numb makes me nauseous. Like the feeling of pressure but not pain makes me like ugh, like it just doesn't make sense. And it like makes me almost pass out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not me. You know when you stay like in the toilet for like a long time. So and your legs get numb. Yeah. Sometimes. So that was happening. I was just on my phone. For some reason I've been constipated for like a day, and the next day I have the best shits in my life. This has been for like.
That sounds worth it, kind of.
It feels amazing.
Yeah, dude.
And this has happened for 5 days in a row, and I'm like, I don't know if this is healthy, but it feels great, and I feel like limber and
you're ready to go.
You know, yeah. So anyway, so I was like pooping, and my legs went numb, and I was like moving my toes around, and I felt like a sting, and I was like, and then I looked down. One of my toenails was too long, and I fucking went and I ripped it off. Cause my feet were numb, my legs were numb.
So you couldn't feel it?
I didn't feel it.
That's disgusting. Oh, that is so gross.
And I was like, oh my, and I was like, well, that takes care of that.
How long were you on there? The toilet?
Oh, probably 12 minutes. 12 to 20 minutes usually.
I like how realistic you're being, because some people are like, oh, I'm on the toilet for like 45 minutes. It's like, shut up. You're on there for like 8 minutes probably. Like 12 is like a realistic.
12 to 20, it's always my thing.
Yeah.
20, I'm like, oh, people are gonna be worried. And also, I don't get that, and I don't care for that when someone goes, can you go check in on someone? Like my fucking family, my mom had somebody checking on me at the bathroom at Olive Garden one time.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, what do you think I'm fucking convulsing in here?
Yeah.
I just ate a chicken Alfredo.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. Although I will say, and this is just around my parents. I hear any sound and I'm like, they're having a heart attack. They're having a heart attack, but that's just because they're like older.
Your parents are older.
They're older.
Which I think explains why you're so mature. Because you hung around older people your whole life.
Older people. I was the youngest person in my friend group. Like I was hanging out with my friend the other day on my birthday, and she's like 4 years older than, or like 3.5 years older than me. And she was like I was hanging out with her when I was like 9, and so she was like 13, like 12, 13, which is a big age gap at that time.
Right.
So it's like I was always hanging out with like older kids. Now it's not that big of a deal, but like when I was younger, I was always the youngest, and everyone else was like in between my age and her age in my group.
Yeah, I've always envied kids that like were comfortable hanging around adults or like older people, because I feel like that's a very useful thing to have as like a young adult, like a 20-year-old.
Yeah, dude.
That's better for business. That's better for like just like learning things.
It's good for getting hired because you're not nervous talking to adults.
Yeah, dude. Like me, I hang around somebody like 7 years older than me. I'm like, oh,
dude. Well, that's funny because I was fine hanging out with adults, but older kids that like weren't in my friend group, like my high school.
Right.
I'm a junior in high school. I would never talk to a senior. Never.
But you would talk to like a
I'd
college guy.
No,
Or a
not even
you talk to a
no.
professor?
I talked to a professor sooner
Wow.
than I would like someone in senior in high school. And then all through college, freshman, sophomore, I'd never talk to anyone older than me. I would talk to younger people, and they wouldn't respect me at all. Like I was a senior in college, and I had a lot of friends who were sophomores. And I was like, do I not intimidate you at all? Because I was so intimidated by people older than me. I was like, oh, I don't know. You're an adult. I don't know. And now I'm a senior, and they're just like, yeah, you're dumb. I'm like, what? How dare you? I'm almost graduated.
Dude, that happened to me. I remember like growing up at my block, I used to be scared of the older kids. And then at some point I was the older kid, and the new kids moved in. And then across the street was like this new black family moved in with like younger like little kids and shit. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go like hang out. And then I would hang out with them like, get the fuck out of here. And then I was like, yo, dude,
What?
do I not scare them?
Aren't I cool to you? I'm older.
Yeah, and I've been living here, asshole. This is my block. Trying to show you
You're older and more tenured.
I'm trying to show you the ropes.
Yeah.
There's a fucking abandoned house over there. We could go hang out. Anyway, so I remember one time they were like hanging out, and I was like, I'm gonna go scare them. And I put like a bunch of a bunch of grass like in a little bag, and I went up to them and I was like, look, and insinuating that it was weed. And the kid was like, that's not weed. And I was like, yeah. And it's like, no, it's not. What the fuck? And I was like, these kids. And then I walked in, I was like, how come they didn't fall for it? Dude, a year later, their house got raided. Their fucking parents were dealing weed. So they knew exactly what weed looked like.
That's so funny. You're like, oh, damn it. You guys are so cool. Like, you still are the innocent child.
To this day, I'm like, these kids were amazing. Like, they were way cooler than me.
Yeah,
they knew what weed was. They weren't intimidated by me.
Yeah, that's just terrifying. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be intimidating. Like, I'm glad that a lot of people, but also I'm like, why am I so scared of people who are old? Like, same thing in comedy. If you've been doing comedy for like 8, 9, 10 years or whatever, I'm just like, hey, my name's Joshua.
Right. Yeah, dude.
I'm terrified.
When I was on the news and shit, I was speaking to these anchors, and like I wasn't nervous at all. And my homie's like, "Oh, you seem so." I'm like, dude, like I don't know them. Like to me, that's just their profession. If I was speaking to a fucking comic, like a headlining comic or working comic, not even on TV, not even a pod, just like in conversation, I'm way more nervous doing that than talking to someone on just being on TV in general.
Dude,
I'm like, dude, like speaking to an older comic is the most terrifying thing.
Dude, 100%. I completely, because that guy is just a guy and they want to talk to you. So it's like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Are you trying to check time?
No.
Oh, okay. You were looking around like you were trying to check time.
No, I had a burp and I didn't know where to throw it.
Oh, wait. I don't know how long we've been starting. Oh, 47.
Nice. It felt like longer.
But, oh, really? Hold on. What? Dude, I was talking to a comic. We were both at an open mic at Grove. He's like got a late night credit. He's well tenured. And I was at a pizza shop by Grove, and I see him walking by. And so then I go, yo, hey. And then he turns around and I'm like, hey. And then he doesn't respond to me. And I was like, Champion Pizza, it's pretty good. And then he just kind of looks at me. And then I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'll call you back. 1 second. And then he was on the phone.
He was on the phone
with somebody. And I was like, oh no. And then he hung up his call. He's like, yeah, what are you doing right now? I'm like, nothing. Really, I have a phone call in like an hour or whatever. And then he's like, oh yeah, let's hang around. Like, so we walk down. And he's like, oh, how about that pizza? Is that pizza place good? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, let's just go back there and hang out. I'm like, yeah, for sure. So I'm like, we've been hanging out for like 3 minutes at this point, right? And I'm so nervous talking to him. I'm like, I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to sound like I know what I'm doing, all this stuff. And then I get a phone call that I have to take. And I like look at him, I'm like, I'm sorry, I gotta take this phone call. So he was on the phone, hung up his call to hang out with me, and then I was like, yeah, sorry, I gotta take that. And I'm like, oh, and I told him, I'm like, I feel so bad because you hung out, and then he's like, dude, don't worry about it. It's fine. And I was just like, no, and then I took the phone call.
And it was your dad. Your mother's dead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a phone call that was scheduled, but I was just like,
oh my god.
I was like, oh, I felt so bad, dude. And like this person, like, they're not a nobody. They're like somebody in comedy, but like a person on the street wouldn't necessarily know who they are. And so it's just like, but because we're both in comedy, I'm like, I'm so nervous around you.
Yeah,
he's a nice guy, but I was so nervous,
dude. I'm always nervous. Like not even, like around older comics, even like younger comic, like way younger comic, because I'm like, they probably think I'm cool. They probably think I'm somebody.
Oh, that's interesting.
So now I'm like trying to not ruin that illusion that I'm cool to them. So I'm like trying to do like cooler things.
But then you end up bombing, and then you're just like,
Yeah, so
damn it.
I learned to just be quiet. But then when I'm quiet, I'm like, I'm not being myself. I'm like, I'm not a stern guy. You know?
Boy, when you're quiet, are you stern or are you just quiet?
I'm just quiet, but I'm not.
That's all right. That's no problem.
Yeah, I know, dude. But my whole time, like riffing in my head, I'm like, oh, that would have done good. Like, oh, that would have.
You're like crushing in your head. You're like, man, I destroyed that hang, dude.
Yeah, dude. But if I'm like teaming up with like if it's me and you and like a younger comic, then I'm like, yeah, let's fucking crush this kid.
Yeah, for sure.
But if it's just like me and like a kid, or like not a kid, but you know, I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
I
get that. Yeah, 100%. That's the thing. That's why I don't. I mean, this is bad and not hospitable, but I initiate so few conversations.
With your parents?
No, with comics.
Oh,
like, unless I know them.
When you said hospitable, I just thought about.
Oh no, my parents are hospitable. No, I don't talk to new comics really because I don't know them and I don't want to be like, hey, what's up? Because I don't want to act like I'm welcoming them. Like I'm not anybody.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not one to welcome it. Like if we end up talking, great. But I'm not going to be like, oh, you're new here. Because I'm not tenured. I don't know.
Yeah. And also, we're still just fucking people.
Yeah.
You know? Dude, I got a friend that does do that. That he is mean to them on purpose. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? And
weird.
And he's like, you got to let them know. And I'm like, no, you don't.
No, you just be nice.
Their act has nothing to do with your career. You know?
Well, that's the problem, dude. Well, that's also the weird thing with a lot of comics is they do have like a weird scarcity mindset where they're like, if you're good, that's taking away from my good. It's like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, dude.
It doesn't at all.
There is infinity fucking views on the internet.
1,000%.
Like, so like, what are you doing? And also, you can like more than one comic. Like, just because like somebody likes him doesn't mean they're not gonna have two favorite comedians.
Yeah, dude. People
And also, you're not even fucking good enough to like be somebody's favorite comedian.
Dude, that's been my newest thing. That's been the newest thing that's bothering me is when I'm like talking to friends or whatever, like comic friends, and they're like freaking out about where they're at in their career or their whatever, you know. It's like, hey, you're a year and a half in.
Oh yeah, dude.
What is wrong with you? Like what you think you should be somewhere? You have nowhere to be. You suck. We all suck. Like, we're so new into this. How dare you be like, oh, well, they have this and I don't. It's like, yeah, they've been doing it 8 years.
And I think those people don't last. And
maybe, yeah, because they get resentful so quickly.
So quickly, dude. Like,
yeah, I hope that's not the case because I think they're funny.
Yeah, and then and I think when we got specific people in mind,
oh, for sure,
now we know. And I'm like, dude, just focus on your act. Just be funny. Just have fun running around doing spots because that's the funnest thing. That's what we fucking moved here to do. Yeah. So let's do it. And then like when you're just like, oh, this guy and that guy. First of all, that doesn't matter, dude. And it's a natural thing to have, but don't hold on to it and have it be your personality.
Sure,
that's insane, dude.
100%. If someone else doing well, even if it doesn't make sense to you, if that keeps you from doing anything, that's not then it's not worth it.
Exactly,
it's not worth it.
You're
at
never
all.
like, oh, that guy's in that show. Now I can't fucking write a new joke.
Do you know how like bees are like? Not, this sounds unrelated. You know, like bees, like anatomically, like scientists have looked at bees and been like, they're not supposed to be able to fly. Like we don't know how they fly. I didn't know that. Yeah, they like look at them and they're like, we don't know really how they fly. Imagine if birds saw that. And birds were like, I can fly. Why you don't make any sense flying, but you're still flying. I quit. I'm not gonna fly. I'm just gonna walk everywhere. It's like, what do you think?
That's a perfect analogy.
Them being able to fly has nothing. It doesn't make sense, but you can still do it. So it shouldn't affect it.
You know what this is?
Like that's crazy.
Bees are hot chicks doing comedy for 3 months and blowing up on the internet. And the birds are just bitter older comics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or like birds are like watching airplanes and they're like, this thing weighs 8 tons. Yeah. Why is this in the air? It doesn't make sense. It's like, well, it took a lot of work to get them up in the air. And exactly. You know, that's what happens.
That's an amazing analogy, dude.
It's just crazy. But like, that doesn't mean you can't fly just because this other thing is. There's tons of airspace. You'll be fine. You know?
Dude, also that made me think of a funny premise, probably. The bees thing. You know how the bees are like dying off right now?
Oh, okay, cool.
You know that, right? How
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard that, I guess.
So I think somebody told the bees, a scientist, you know you guys aren't supposed to fly. And the bees like, are you serious? And they got self-conscious. And
really self-aware?
Because they always find bees on the floor just dead.
Yeah, exactly. Like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Like flying around, they're like, I shouldn't be doing this.
Or they just got what's it called when like an athlete gets too nervous and they can't perform?
Yes, they need the bees need a sports psychologist.
Yeah. I think that's what's happening. Somebody told them you're not supposed to fly. This is impossible. What? and then they had kids, and then the kids didn't grow up with the confidence of flying. So
exactly.
Kids are dying.
Like they're like, well, maybe our kids won't fly. And they're just like, well, they're flying, I guess. And they're like, I'm flying, but I feel like you don't think I could, like from your parents. And they're like, technically you shouldn't. And they're like, what? Yeah, I mean, within it, 3 or 4 bee generations, I mean, they're all going to be gone
And
just from lack of belief.
Some of them like get erectile like dysfunction because they're like they don't believe in themselves anymore. There's no confidence.
Yeah.
So they can't have kids anymore.
Yeah.
And then, dude, we're fucked.
They're incontinent or not incontinent. Not fertile.
Incompetent.
Well, that could be that too. They're just eating their own honey, getting fat.
That was like fun, dude. If the human race dies out because the bees just ate honey, I wouldn't be mad at it.
If they ate their own supply,
Yeah,
you know what? I get it.
Yeah, I'm
I
like, you know
understand.
what? Yeah, that I do that. You know,
Do bees eat their own honey?
I think
It'd be
that's,
pretty wild if that was just a byproduct.
that's why they gather it, right? Tweet it.
They don't gather honey. They pollinate and then they bring it back to the hive, and then honey I think just happens. I don't know if they make honey for them to eat.
Huh? Do they make it for? They don't make it for the bears or for us.
Well, not the bears, no. But the bear, no, they don't make it for anything. I think it's just a byproduct. Like
Really?
if their sewer system maybe, and then it'd be like if someone eats our poop and they're like, well, they make the poop. They don't
Huh.
eat the poop, and we're like, no, we don't.
But
make
bees
that.
get mad when you take their honey, though.
Yeah, but I think it's because it's in their home. It's a
Wait,
home invasion.
Oh wait, does it just?
If you broke into my home,
And took your
I'd be
poop?
mad. And you just take my poop. I'm like, it's not this thing. That's how it makes me upset. Is don't break into my house. Don't do that. They're like, oh, what? You want to keep your poop? I'm like, no, take the. That's fine. Just don't break in to my house. You broke my window. That whole thing.
Woke me up.
Yeah, exactly.
Scared my parents.
I was sleeping. Why'd you spray smoke in here first? Can't.
We needed the poop.
Yeah, exactly. We need to take your poop. I'm like, go ahead. Not just be clear with your intentions.
They just make an appointment.
Yeah, exactly.
Circle back.
I'll give it to you. Yeah,
Touch base.
exactly. Dude, yeah, that's bees are. I'm glad if they go away.
No, what?
They scare me.
Well, I mean, isn't there like a whole thing where like it'll be like a chain reaction where it'll eventually fuck
Yeah, dude. I mean, I was talking to Ben about this the other day. The Earth will be fine.
Ben Hurwitz?
No,
Callahan?
Callahan. Yeah, the Earth will be fine.
Callahan is so like jumpy and scared of the world. Of
Dude,
everything.
yeah, but he also is terrified that it's going to end. It's like pick a lane, dude. Is it going to hurt you, or are you sad it's going to end? I mean, which one is it?
Yeah, the Earth will be fine, dude.
Dude, it will be fine.
I was watching it was this, like one of those like Earth educational things.
Yeah, those are fun.
And it was just going through like all the phases of Earth. They're like at some point the whole Earth was on fire, and then it was all cold.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
dinosaurs for 100 million years, and then a meteor.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we're like, oh, so like we're fine, dude.
Yeah, and then like in however many billions of years they're gonna be like, and then humans burned gas.
Yeah,
for roughly 60 years, and then it just irretrievable. It's like, dude,
Exactly, yeah,
nothing's supposed to be happening. I mean, if you're non-religious,
Right.
nothing's supposed to be happening. It all just is happening. So if everything ends, all right, that's what happened.
Yeah,
And
like not to sound like a fucking huge like anti-environmentalist or a fucking huge right-wing guy.
Sure.
But I'm like, dude, if Earth went through like fire and then ice, like, oh yeah, oh my straw is gonna sink this ship.
yeah, no, it'll be fine. I mean, that was
we should take care of it, but
Well, sure. Don't be rude about it.
Yeah,
don't snub them. You know,
don't
but
litter.
yeah, be nice, but also don't be like, oh no, and then like, they have that countdown thing in Union Square.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's like,
I
guess
hate that.
what? We have 5.5 years before we can't turn this ship around. I'm like, man, I don't know how much you're paying for that to be on Union Square. You're just blowing so much money just for that advertising
I
space.
hate that shit, dude. It's the worst.
It's insane, but
Oh,
that's gonna happen.
yeah, I wanted to tell you this thing. How much time have we got?
We're at 58.
58. Oh, we can.
Tell me the thing.
It wasn't important. Just blue ball audience.
What was it? Ow. Blue ball me. Yeah. No, dude, you know what I hate more than anything is when, I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Especially if they're talking trash about a comic.
Yeah,
Someone we know, I'll tell you off camera. So I'm like, God.
Dude, you know what's so cool about being sometimes you know who it is, and you just know that because you're in your. Dude,
Yeah.
I saw this thing about I'm about to do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
About like a huge headlining guy that just quit a show, and like there was like a short. It was like this guy quit this, and like he accidentally leaked out what he was gonna do, and I was like, that's not what he's like. I know what he's gonna do next, and I'll tell you off camera.
Big headliner guy.
Yeah,
interesting.
like a famous guy.
Oh, yeah.
And we know somebody. Like, at the stand, everybody is like a chain of people that know each other.
Sure, yeah.
So it's somebody that hangs out with him.
Oh, okay.
So and then she's like, oh, I know what he's gonna. Oh, and he's heard one of my stories. I told.
Which story?
Well, I came to California. Wow, what's the story, dude? I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to. Oh, you know what me coming to? Oh yeah, all right. So So Luke and Alex, is a story where I told one person that they had the joke.
Oh yeah. That's funny.
So I'll tell it for the podcast. So my Luke and Alex, they're both my friends and shit. And then I was hanging out with Alex, and then Alex, I don't think either of them do the joke anymore. So I'll just say it. I told Alex, like, yo, how come you don't do that Brooklyn joke anymore? He's like, how does it go? And so I'm like, oh, like, how do people in Brooklyn have phone sex? And they call each other and they go, oh, what are you wearing? Oh yeah, me too. And then Alex, so funny. And Alex
that's
goes,
a pretty local like Brooklyn joke, but I think that's very funny.
So Alex goes, that's my joke. And I'm like, yeah, you haven't done it in a while. And I was like, oh, you're right. I guess I'll start doing it again. And then I fly to California. Luke was in North Carolina. Luke flies back into the city. They go to a mic together. Luke sees Alex do the joke. And he goes, what the fuck? And he goes, what? He's like, that's my joke.
You just told him so. And Alex is just like, I'll take anything I can get. Yeah, of course.
And Alex goes, oh,
like
shit.
all of us.
Yeah, it was like, Frankie said it was mine. He's like, no, he fucking heard me say it, and they told you it was yours. Which, by the way, they thought I did it on purpose.
Oh, that's hilarious.
No,
Alex would have done it on purpose,
yeah,
but
exactly.
But you didn't. Yeah.
Which I kind of wish I did do it on purpose, because it makes that much more.
That's funny.
So then this guy at the stand, like the person that hangs out with the guy at the stand, this headliner guy, told him the story. I guess they were like dying laughing. And I was like, that's fucking sick.
That's so funny. That's great.
I was like I felt like one of those like 1950s guys that were like that would write jokes for like Tonight Show hosts, and then the joke would get on and then it would kill. Like, yes, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's great.
Dude, and also props to the person that told him the story correctly, because I probably just butchered it on here.
No, I'm sure that's exactly right. That's very funny, especially when it's about stolen jokes and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if non-comics hit that, like if they'll think that's as funny, but I think that's hilarious, especially when you're so new and every joke is just an absolute pearl. You're like, I can't let go of anything, So you're just like fighting over this.
Yeah, also there's like just like a local joke,
and it's a good joke, but I think it's really funny.
Yeah,
it's a really funny joke.
What are you wearing?
Yeah, me too. What are you wearing? Me too. Yeah, it's very funny. Wait, is that the thing you were gonna tell me, or were you gonna tell me?
Oh no, I was gonna tell you on the flight over here. I had a whole road to myself.
That's amazing.
Ow. He struck me.
I have some to tell you in the similar vein.
Oh, right. So I have a whole road to myself, right? Uh-huh. And I'm like, get the fuck out. This is amazing. So I'm like, I got my legs stretched out. At some point, I had my legs on all the seats.
Oh yeah.
And then like you can't be in one position for too long. So I sat back like a regular person. An older Chinese woman, not just any Chinese woman, like these Chinese people that the Chinese lady, like these like older ladies that came and they kind of like. Maybe they came at an older age, but they just never learned like the language. Yeah. So she's like on the flight and she like points at the seat. And I'm like, what was that? And I had my ear canceling earphones on. She was wearing a mask. Obviously, she was Chinese. Yeah. And then I just hear like her mask moving and I got my earphones on and I take it off and I go, what was that? And she's pointing at the seat. I'm like, oh, she wants to sit with me? And I'm like, no chance, dude. This is and then I have no rights to that. Sure. This is my home.
Yeah, it's not yours.
So,
you didn't pay for that ticket.
I just keep going, what? And she goes, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And by the way, this is halfway through the flight already. So
that's weird. So
Why
she just wants to move?
I don't know. So I'm just like, what? I'm like, and then she goes, and she just sits down. And I'm like, god damn it. And I'm like, it's that thing where like, I wasn't going to stretch my legs out again. Sure. But if I didn't want to, now the option's not there. Yeah. But you should have just kept your leg out the whole time. I know. So now I'm like in my head, just like battling, like you have no right to that chair. Yeah. But at the same time, the other side's like, well, why the fuck is she here? Yeah. Like I want her to, and so then I'm like, let me just do a thing. And I'm not proud of this, but I opened up my window. It was like during the day. It was a day flight. I open up my window and just a strong beam of sun comes in and like it hits me. I like get out of the way. It's just hitting her, dude. So I'm just like
turns into dust. just falls apart.
And it worked. Like 2 minutes later, she gets up and she goes back to her seat. And
dude, this is what world is this? She's just getting up, moving around. This isn't a park. Pick your seat. Dude.
I close the window and I'm like, good. I put my legs back up and I couldn't find my spine. Like, this is uncomfortable. And I just take it back and I sit back like a regular person.
Dude, I had a very similar experience. I'm on Southwest. Somehow I get A49 for A46 or whatever. Early spot to sit at Southwest. Shit. Pretty good. So I get on. I'm on like 7th or 8th row in, pretty close.
That's amazing.
Normally I'm like row 85.
Yeah, me too.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm on row like 7 or 8. Really nice. I pick a window seat because I like the window seat. I don't, it's a shorter flight because it's from Denver to here. As we're getting on, the flight attendant goes, it's a pretty light flight. It's going to be a lot of room, spread out, whatever. Like, nice. Awesome. Great. Obviously, because I'm so close, someone is on the aisle seat. I don't get all for you, Rose. But you know, I'm like, okay, sweet. No one's in the middle all the time, right? I'm on my phone. I'm not really paying attention. Like 3 or 4 minutes later, someone sits down in the middle. In the middle.
Oh.
And it's like a young kid, like someone our age. And I'm like, what is wrong with you, dude? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I look like aghast. I'm like, what? And I look back and there is no middle. Like no one else is in the middle seat.
Oh my.
Which is so funny because it's like, if I had a choice, I would have chosen the very last row, aisle or window before any middle seat.
Yes.
And even in the back row where you can't lean back, I would have taken that.
Is this mid-flight?
He
did this mid-flight?
No, this is beginning of the flight.
Okay.
And I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Like, what makes you... Because he did some calculus in his head. He's like, well, I'm going to be closer up so I can get off the plane earlier. And like, that makes it worth sitting in the middle. Nothing is worth sitting in the middle. I'd sit in the very last row where I can't recline over sitting in the middle.
Can I guess his race?
Go ahead.
Korean or white?
He's white.
White.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm just like... And he wasn't like a huge guy. But it was just like, are you kidding me? It was insane. And the flight before... I was on a window seat and this massive dude was in the middle. My left shoulder didn't touch the back of the seat the entire time. It was just this because he was back there. So I was just like this, crunched over. Like my abs were sore.
Oh, nice.
Because I was like for like 4 hours, I was just like this, looking out the window, trying to fall asleep.
You get out the plane with a 3-pack.
Yeah, exactly. Just this side of my abs just cut. Just unbelievable.
Dude, did I tell you the time that I sat in the middle in between 2 pilots?
2 pilots?
Yeah, like
that's kind of interesting.
I walked and it was a full flight, so I did this move that this white kid did. But I mean, it was my seat.
It was a full flight.
Yeah. So I walk in, I sit down, and these guys they were already in a conversation. It was like an older, like 50-year-old man, and a young kid, maybe like 23, talking to him about how he just got his pilot's license, this and that. And they're like, oh, and they're talking about like maybe like what school they went to because they were from the same area. He's like, oh, I went to this school. Like, oh, he's like, do you know this guy? Do you know this guy? And then he goes, the kid goes, oh, hold on, let me call him. Picks up his phone and call him. It doesn't work. Because we're in the air.
What an idiot. The older guy's just like, you're not allowed to fly anymore.
Yeah, it just takes away his pilot card.
You idiot.
It was insane. I tried so hard to pretend like I didn't just notice that.
That's so funny.
I swear to God, the older pilot got up and moved seats.
No, are you joking?
I swear. No, I swear to God.
And that's dude, that's why I'm worried about saying something stupid in front of a more tenured comic.
Yeah.
Because I'll say something like that.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah, I felt so bad for the kid, but also I didn't because he was like one of these like douchey frat kids. So you had to tell like he was
frat flyer.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's not good.
Frequent flyer.
Oh, come on. Nice. Sorry.
Yeah, that was dude. I've been going over these episodes tonight. I kind of like it.
Yeah, we're 107.
We're 107.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to end it, but you know.
Yeah, but I'm also.
You got plans?
Well, I don't have plans, but my mom. We're at my house right now, and we are having a bunch of people come over tonight.
Was that a comedy shop payment?
It was some shop payments. Oh yeah, no big deal.
They've been paying me too.
3 payments just came in.
They've been paying me.
But we
shout out Miguel.
We need to clean up.
Oh yeah, well,
I need help clean or whatever, and so my mom is in this like low grade freak out mode all day.
Oh, my mom's
because it's just like we need everything to be clean. Like our beds are made.
Nice.
My mom's like, we need to make the beds, and I'm like, okay, is someone coming in here or what's going on? Like, what's happening?
Exactly.
And like,
oh my God,
like, you need to you never. No, I'm like. Are people wandering? Like these are like, are you just wandering? This is not a mansion of a house. Like everyone knows where to hang. Exactly. You don't just go opening doors. Yeah. If you open it, well, like as if they're gonna be like opening up and they're like, bed's made. All right, good. Like no one cares.
No one. Yeah, dude. My mom's the same.
It's a mindset thing. I don't know what it is.
Dude, I was in my room and we have a room where I share a room with my sister, and then over there is like there's a guest room with its own bathroom. My mom comes into the bedroom that I share with my sister, starts cleaning it. I mean, it's the bathroom. Starts cleaning the bathroom. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, the people are coming. And I'm like, they're not coming in here.
Yeah.
Like you put them in the guest room so they wouldn't share a room with me.
Oh, that's hilarious. There's a bathroom right there and you're cleaning another bathroom.
Yeah. I'm like, why don't, and she goes, I have so much things to do. I'm like, well then clean it. I'll take care of this one. I'm using this one.
Dude, this happened today. We're cleaning the guest room. Again, the guest room where no one's staying there tonight. I mean, you might stay there if you need to, but like no one's really staying there. And the party's happening in the family room, in the living room, in the kitchen, and that area. Right. I'm like, hey, Mom, how about we prioritize visible areas first? How about we clean this area first? Because it's like, let's save the visible part for the last 10 minutes before people get here. I'm like, no, let's do that now. and then do the out of sight stuff, behind the scenes stuff
Yeah.
later, like more chill. But it's like she's like, no, we need to clean up this dark corner first that no one's ever gonna see before we clean the countertops.
And then
I'm what?
And then you know what happens, dude? My mom, she finished cleaning right before the party starts, gets ready right when the party comes down when the party's ending. I'm like, you missed the party.
Okay,
you like,
that's just Mexican.
You didn't even get to see the people enjoy the clean house.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
And also now it's dirty again because we have guests.
100%.
If there's any moms listening or any like homeowners or
Explain
why do you do that?
Why?
Do you do that? Because it's a mom thing. We're two different races, grew up completely different.
That's a good
Our
point.
parents grew up completely, and they do the same thing.
Yeah, it's just the having to clean every part of it. It's like this isn't good housekeeping. Like they're not going to come through and like shoot a tour of the house.
Exactly.
It's not up for sale.
No.
It's just the people are coming over.
My mom said we're having a party, and I find her in her hands, and he's cleaning her fucking closet.
Dude, what
are you doing?
I live in a studio apartment. If I was having a party, I wouldn't clean all of it. There'd be an area of trash. But well, no one's gonna use that part. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I live in a studio. It's one room. That's crazy.
Dude, I love your apartment.
Dude, I love my apartment too. New couch.
Love it. New couch.
January 6th. January 6th. I didn't realize the momentous date, but
you should put a little flag on it.
January 6th. Yeah,
like on the side.
Dude, I'm so excited. It's a Saturday, so come over.
Your
and
new
hang
couch,
out.
my new bed.
Yeah. Yes, you'll love it.
Yeah,
you'll be very happy. Yeah,
I'll have an apartment by then. But
not Jan 6.
Oh no, dude, her lease doesn't end here in San Diego until July.
Okay.
I want to get the apartment like during the winter time maybe or springtime.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have an apartment to myself for a couple months.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be amazing, dude.
Yeah. Man, I wish I had that.
But all right, dude. Thank you for doing the podcast.
Oh, dude, yeah, childhood bedroom.
Anything you got
the lore. That's what I like about this happening now, like so early in comedy.
Yeah,
just the lore that's happening. Like you did one in your childhood bedroom. Like that's so. If we both become successful, this would just be fun.
Yeah,
to be like, remember when we did it there? That was so weird.
And I'll probably still be doing it like that, dude.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
It's a big reason why I'm not selling the van. I want to make it into like a studio, a podcast.
Sure.
Studio.
Well, of course.
Renovate it and shit.
You know.
But all right, thanks for doing the podcast, dude.
Oh, dude, of course. Happy to do it.
Thank you, people, for watching episode 84.
84
of the Keep On Trucking podcast. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Are you calling me a racist?